So this is all we're using for this cooking. That's why it's called survival rice. Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Summer, and to all of you that keep coming back, hello and welcome back. Quick reminder, if you've never subscribed, just to remind you to click that red button there that says subscribe, and after that click the bell sign. That way you get a notification whenever I upload a new video. So today's video, we're in my kitchen. I'll be doing a bit of cooking today. This food I want to cook is what I call this rice survival rice. This is the kind of rice that I have cooked so many times in my life, so many times. I've shared in the past about how I left home at the age of 17 and I've kind of like started surviving for a long time. This rice has been a lifesaver. This rice was there for me when I left home at the age of 17 and trying to survive by myself. When I moved to Lagos and I was trying to survive as well. When I moved to Europe and I was still struggling, I was still surviving. I hadn't gone into nursing school then, I didn't have a good job or anything like that then. So this rice was there for me as well. Believe it or not, this rice is there for me on those days when for whatever reason, oh, there's this ingredient missing or that ingredient missing. Fine, there will be slight differences now because okay, I always have my freezer full, I have my fridge full, I always buy things ahead. But there are times when I find myself in tight situations and I can still kind of like borrow this idea and do quick meals, whatever the situation is. This rice, I personally call it survival rice. I'm making this video for any of you watching me. If you're a student home or abroad, this rice, you need to know about this rice. But there are a lot of Nigerians that are living abroad that are still struggling, they don't have it yet, but they're still kind of surviving. This rice would help you. This rice is a survival rice for a lot of situations. I just thought to myself, a lot of the videos we watch online are typically the videos of food that has all the assorted meat and these and the way it should be. But I thought to myself, why don't I make a video for those people that actually cannot afford all the things that a food needs, what they need to eat at the end of the day? And this came to my mind. I said, why don't I share this, my rice that I have ate for so many years? Even for someone that doesn't know how to cook. There are a lot of Nigerian men that are abroad, they don't know how to cook, and you know, this is something anybody can throw it together and it becomes food. At the end of the day, the truth is this, that what we all need is food. The quality is another thing. At the end of the day, what you want to do is just quench the hunger. And it's a time like that you will know the value of survival rice. Now enough talking, and let's go into the practical aspect of it, the cooking. So this is all we're using for this cooking. That's why it's called survival rice. Survival. I named it survival rice. So we have only these things to cook with, right? We have our rice. We have our pepper and scotch bonnet. I have olive oil here, and then I have salt and I have Knorr cubes. Now for salt and Knorr cube, I said it before, I don't really cook with salt. What I do is I use my Knorr cube, and and then before the food is ready, I'll taste and see if I'm happy with the amount of salt in it. I would stop. First, because the Knorr cube has salt in it. I find that most of the time the Knorr is enough for my food. So that's why you see I have my salt and Knorr here, because for me they are both the same thing. You know, I believe that most people will be able to afford these ingredients. There will be no meat, no fish, nothing. So that's why it's called survival. But at the end of the day, you just want food in your stomach. For the peppers, don't forget you can actually use the dry pepper, chili peppers, whatever. But I love scotch bonnet. If you can get your hands on scotch bonnet, get them. They have a nice flavor, they have nice taste, and just add something nice into the food. For the oil, you can use palm oil if you want. Yes, you can. Nothing says you can't. You can use coconut oil. You can use a butter in place of that. You can use this is olive oil. You can use sunflower oil, groundnut oil, whatever you can get your hands on. Scotch bonnet, I'm going to chop it up. I'm not going to blend it. I like the way it looks in the food when it's just chopped up. This is a lot of pepper, to be honest with you. This is very spicy. This particular one is very hot, very spicy. I'm just going to use half. Scotch bonnet, I have to try it first to find out how spicy that particular batch is. Some are more spicy than others. This particular one is the spiciest, like it's very, very spicy, so I'm not going to put too much of it. have our water boiling. We have all our ingredients here. Make sure your water is really hot and boiling. Put the rice in and I cover it again and give it time to boil a bit more. Drain this water out and then start the proper cooking then. I actually realized I should have shown you guys what I did. I basically went to the tap, I poured a lot of water all the way up here and then poured the water out without letting the rice fall off my pan. I did that and I repeated it like 3 times. Basically, you're trying to reduce the amount of starch you have in it, because the starch in the rice can make your rice very sticky and clumpy and stuff like that. So basically that's that. And for those of you that always want to know measurements, the best advice I can give you is when you're cooking your rice like this, right? When you are cooking anything and you're not sure of how much water to put, you can start with small amount of water and then keep adding as you go along. Now I'm just basically going to throw everything in. I'm going to put my pepper in. Okay, I'm just going to put my pepper in. Okay. And then I'm just going to throw my nut cubes in. Then put in 2. I'm putting 2 nut cubes. To a lot of people, that's a lot of nut cubes. But I'll tell you, it will be alright. Seriously, will be. I learned this from a friend of mine that does professional cooking. But what she does is she uses a lot of nut cubes and she doesn't use that much salt. That's why I said I may not need the salt. So I'm going to put 2. If you use that a lot, believe me, it will taste amazing. It will taste amazing. So I'm putting 2 nut cubes. I'm just gonna break up the nut cubes. So I just break up the nut cubes. Okay, and then I'm gonna add my olive oil. There are a lot of students in hostels hostels in universities that would kill for a food like this. To you, this may be like, oh my goodness, it doesn't have this, it doesn't have that. But don't forget that this is a food for someone that does not have, but they want to eat something that's going to taste. Oh God, the pepper. The pepper is, I told you guys about this pepper. I already feel the pepper in my throat already. This particular one is very spicy. So that's, yeah, to you this may look like nothing, but don't forget that someone that does not have, at the end of the day, all they want is food in their stomach. So this is so handy for situations like that. So that's that. I put everything in already. I put everything in and I'm just going to cover it. You can see it's drying up, but it's still not soft enough. It's still not soft enough, so I'm going to add more. I'm going to add more water to it. The color you're looking at is actually coming from the nut cubes, yeah. And then I'll cover it. So this is the finished product. To you, this may be nothing. Don't forget that for someone that does not have, this is a blessing. And with that, I'm just gonna say thank you all for watching. Until the next time, guys. Bye-bye. Bye.